Welcome back to our channel, fellow drama aficionados. Today is a truly beautiful day to unpack the intricate webs of deceit, power, and betrayal that keep us all endlessly captivated and glued to our screens. We are diving deep into the latest shocking developments, so grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let us explore the dark shadows lurking behind closed doors. In the high-stakes, cutthroat world of corporate dominance and familial betrayal, the Hamilton family is currently standing on the precipice of an absolute catastrophe. Bill Hamilton, a man who has spent his entire life building an impenetrable empire, now finds himself in a position of unprecedented vulnerability. Due to a complex myriad of severe health crises and pressing legal issues, Bill has been forced to step away from the daily operations of his company. This sudden and unexpected absence has created a massive power vacuum at the very top of the corporate ladder. Naturally, his fiercely intelligent and fiercely loyal daughter, Naomi, is the most logical choice to step into this immense leadership role. She possesses the acumen, the drive, and the inherent dedication to protect her father's legacy. However, this natural succession is precisely what triggers the dark, insidious machinations of Bill's current wife, Hayley Hamilton. Analyze the Beyond the Gates clip below, then formulate short, thought-provoking questions to pique curiosity. Who is lying? What secret is about to be revealed? Which character might betray their loved one in the next episode? These chilling inquiries echo through the opulent halls of the Hamilton estate as a sinister plot of corporate sabotage and emotional manipulation begins to unfold right before our very eyes, threatening to destroy a powerful family from the inside out. Driven by an insatiable greed and a profound, deep-seated insecurity, Hayley views Naomi not as a familial ally, but as a lethal threat to her own financial future and overarching control. Hayley understands that as long as Naomi holds power within the company, her own access to Bill's immense wealth remains restricted and heavily monitored. Therefore, Hayley embarks on a meticulously calculated campaign of psychological warfare designed to completely eradicate Naomi's standing in the eyes of the one man whose opinion matters most, Bill. Hayley's strategy is not one of overt aggression or loud confrontations. Rather, it is a masterclass in the subtle, toxic art of gaslighting. She operates in the shadows, utilizing her intimate proximity to Bill to slowly and methodically poison his perception of his own flesh and blood. The insidious nature of Hayley's manipulation begins with soft, seemingly innocent whispers. During quiet moments of feigned vulnerability, Hayley leans in close to Bill, planting tiny, venomous seeds of doubt regarding Naomi's competence. She masks her malicious intent behind a facade of maternal concern, sighing heavily as she questions whether Naomi is truly ready to handle the crushing pressure of executive leadership. She might ask if Naomi is taking on too much, or express manufactured worry that Naomi lacks the seasoned experience required for such a critical juncture in the company's history. These calculated whispers are designed to bypass Bill's rational defenses, slowly eroding his unwavering faith in his daughter. Hayley knows exactly which emotional buttons to push, exploiting Bill's natural protective instincts to turn him against the very person trying to save his empire. But whispers alone are not enough to dismantle a formidable woman like Naomi. Hayley requires concrete evidence of incompetence to solidify her narrative. Thus begins the active phase of her corporate sabotage. Hayley deliberately and covertly orchestrates a series of small, frustrating situations within the company's daily operations. She might misplace a crucial financial report, alter the timing of an essential meeting with key investors, or send an ambiguous email that leads to a costly misunderstanding. These manufactured errors are carefully designed to appear as genuine mistakes, the kind of slip-ups that a stressed, overwhelmed, and inexperienced executive might naturally make. Hayley is a phantom in the office, leaving absolutely no trace of her own involvement while ensuring maximum chaos ensues. The true brilliance of Hayley's sinister plot lies in her flawless execution of the frame-up. Every single orchestrated failure, every misplaced document, and every miscommunicated directive is expertly traced back to Naomi's desk. When the inevitable fallout occurs, Hayley is the first to arrive at Bill's side, shaking her head in mock sorrow. She subtly highlights Naomi's supposed blunders, connecting the dots for Bill so that he reaches the devastating conclusion entirely on his own. By framing Naomi for these carefully curated disasters, Hayley effectively neutralizes her greatest rival, without ever having to raise her voice or lift a finger in open combat. It is a terrifying display of sociopathic manipulation, executed with a chilling level of precision and absolute ruthlessness. To fully comprehend the tragic success of Haley's plan, one must understand the current fragility of Bill Hamilton. His severe health issues and mounting legal battles have left him physically drained and psychologically exhausted. The once sharp, impenetrable mind of the corporate titan is now clouded by fatigue and the heavy burden of his own mortality. In this weakened state, Bill relies heavily on Haley for comfort, care, and emotional support. This profound dependency renders him incredibly susceptible to her toxic influence. He is simply too exhausted to question the motives of the woman sleeping beside him, making it tragically easy for Haley to warp his reality. Bill's cognitive dissonance prevents him from seeing the monster hiding in plain sight, allowing Haley's lies to take root and flourish in his mind. As the manufactured errors continue to pile up, Bill's perspective undergoes a devastating shift. The unwavering pride and absolute trust he once held for Naomi begin to curdle into deep-seated suspicion and disappointment. He starts to scrutinize her every decision with a hypercritical eye, viewing her natural confidence as dangerous arrogance and her minor, framed mistakes as evidence of gross incompetence. The tragedy of a father losing faith in his fiercely loyal daughter is palpable and heartbreaking to witness. Bill, manipulated beyond recognition, begins to believe the false narrative that Naomi is a liability to the company rather than its ultimate savior. The wedge Haley has driven between them is now a gaping chasm, filled with unspoken resentments and manufactured doubts. The ultimate consequence of this psychological warfare manifests in a devastating corporate blow. Swayed by Haley's relentless gaslighting and the mounting pile of fabricated evidence, Bill makes a heartbreaking decision. He begins to seriously reconsider offering Naomi the official executive position she has worked her entire life to achieve. This is the exact outcome Haley has been striving for. By preventing Naomi from solidifying her power within the company, Haley ensures that the Hamilton empire remains vulnerable to her own future machinations. For Naomi, this hesitation from her father is a crushing professional and personal defeat, a rejection that cuts to the very core of her identity and her lifelong dedication to the family business. Meanwhile, Naomi is thrust into an agonizing internal struggle. She is a meticulous, brilliant professional who prides herself on absolute perfection. When these inexplicable errors begin occurring under her watch, she immediately senses that something is profoundly wrong. Her sharp intuition screams that she is being set up, that an invisible enemy is actively working to destroy her credibility. However, sensing foul play and proving it are two entirely different battles. Naomi finds herself fighting a ghost, unable to pinpoint the exact source of the sabotage or identify the person pulling the strings. The sheer frustration of knowing she is innocent, yet lacking the concrete evidence to clear her name, pushes her to the absolute brink of professional despair. The psychological toll this takes on Naomi is immense and agonizing. She is forced to operate in a constant state of hypervigilance, double-checking every document and second-guessing every interaction in a desperate bid to prevent further sabotage. The pressure to perform perfectly under the crushing weight of her father's newfound scrutiny is suffocating. Naomi feels an overwhelming sense of isolation, realizing that the one person who should implicitly trust her has been turned against her. She is walking on eggshells in her own family's company, fighting a desperate, uphill battle to reclaim her reputation and salvage the fractured bond with the man she has spent her life trying to make proud. In stark contrast to Naomi's profound suffering, Haley is currently basking in the glow of her own dark victory. She watches the chaos unfold with a sickening sense of smug satisfaction. Every time Bill questions Naomi's judgment, every time Naomi looks exhausted and defeated, Haley feels a surge of sociopathic delight. She revels in her ability to control the narrative, to play the role of the loving, concerned wife while secretly plunging a dagger into the back of her stepdaughter. Haley believes she is utterly untouchable, an invisible puppet master pulling the strings of the Hamilton family with absolute impunity. Her arrogance blinds her to the inevitable truth that secrets this dark rarely stay buried forever, but for now, she enjoys the wicked fruits of her labor. This harrowing storyline serves as a brilliant, terrifying exploration of the overarching themes that define the world of Genoa City: the corrupting influence of unchecked greed, the devastating power of betrayal, and the fragile illusion of control. Haley's actions highlight the terrifying reality that the most dangerous enemies are often those who sleep under the same roof, armed with intimate knowledge of our deepest vulnerabilities. The destruction of the father-daughter bond between Bill and Naomi is a tragic testament to the effectiveness of psychological manipulation, proving that even the strongest familial ties can be severed by the relentless application of toxic lies and calculated deceit. It is a masterclass in villainy that leaves the audience screaming at their screens in absolute frustration. As we look ahead, the tension surrounding the Hamilton family has reached an absolute boiling point. How long can Haley maintain this flawless facade of innocence before her intricate web of lies finally collapses under its own weight? Will Naomi's brilliant intuition eventually lead her to the undeniable proof she needs to expose her wicked stepmother and reclaim her rightful place at the head of the empire? Or will Bill's tragic blindness result in the permanent destruction of his relationship with his only loyal daughter? The stakes have never been higher, and the impending fallout promises to be nothing short of explosive. Stay tuned, because in this world of corporate espionage and shattered trust, the truth is always the most dangerous weapon of all.